recording and we done started recording, honey. Hola, Ovito. Hola, la familia, guys, gals, and guys. Thank y'all for being here, honey. Thank you for joining me and none other than the tranny king himself. Introduce yourself to the people, Armani.
I know you did not just call me a tranny king. Oh my
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being king
god.
tranny?
I am the one and only Armani Dae. Okay, he came pronouns, thank you.
Oh, just in case I don't make it home tonight. We are not paying them for this song. I don't even know who that is. They could be problematic. Who sang that song?
Oh
Armani.
god. You know who sang that song.
Jaheim. Jaheim sang that song.
And
Don't.
he was problematic. And he was problem he turned out to be problematic after all of the I'm gonna say after all the fame, even though apparently he's still performing occasionally. But anyway, yeah, as of the past 10 years, he was turning to be a little bit problematic. But anyway, don't be starting soon. We ain't even say hello. We ain't say our name, nothing, and then you just automatically off the rip. Okay, what the
I told you I needed to vent today, honey. I told you. That's why we needed to record ASAP, ASAP. Nigga trying to play me. I'm going to blow him off the map
Okay, so
ASAP.
Bree need to vent. So I'm gonna give the lady most of the floor and try not to interrupt.
Oh, God. Is that what we calling it? No, 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 no. We got to square away this Jaheim T though first because you said he turned out to be problematic. I thought he had just turned out to be a crackhead.
Well, in addition to that, a lot of people, like a lot of people's favorite female rappers, they be on these supposed drugs and things, and life is going the way that it's going, and then they start saying problematic shit, very phobic things, very things based on religion. They're supporting administrations that's hurting billions of people. So yeah. So he ended up being one of those kind of people. I don't know if he ever apologized for whatever it was that he said or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I was a Jaheim fan when I was a child. I'm 36, so yeah, that tells you how long ago I was a fan.
Anyway, honey, you wonder you talk about we didn't even get a chance to do a proper introduction, and you asking questions on how we get to Jaheim, but now you the one talking about female rappers and things like that, and you think that I'm really just gonna let this shit slide, honey? You think that we just gonna
Listen here.
slide past this shit?
Here on politically incorrect, this is what we do. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Go ahead and say how you feel, Miss Bre Starr, aka the Fairy Puss.
Honey,
Okay, let
plus,
us know how you
honey,
feel.
it's plus it's twatty over here. It's real twatty, honey, and y'all heard it here first. So if the girls start using my adjective, if the girls start using twatty, honey, then you already know that they got it from none other than the cinder block bricky bitch herself, honey.
First of all,
Yeah.
stop saying Cinder Block and Bricky. I don't know who called you Bricky, but I'm ready to give them a jab to the eye because, dog, you're not Bricky, okay? You are, and I love to say it to you so that you know, but I hate to say it because, I don't like those terms, but you are one of the realest women out there. So we're going to stop with the Bricky chat, okay?
Yeah,
Please and thank you. Okay?
we only use that term. We only use the realness term when we're speaking it about ballroom. But yeah,
Okay,
no,
thank
I
you.
do, and that's honestly Armani why it doesn't phase me and why I can kiki about it. Um, because I get so affirmed by people who know me in real life and just my own life experience. Like even my life experience being around the dogs or going out with the dogs and in occasions where they getting clocked and I'm not. There have just been instances where cis women have gotten clocked or people have expected a cis woman to be in trans and I've been sitting right there and they didn't realize that I was tranny tranny twat sitting right in front of their face, honey. They talk about, oh, that's a man. She got a scarf around her neck. And I'm thinking to myself, Bitch, it's cold. You the only black person outside with shorts on, bitch. Like, it's no shade. She got the scarf on because she cold. I know that girl, honey. And I know
I'm
she
not.
and I know she got a vagina because she's known for having bad pussy since we was a child. You know what I mean?
Where Where's my book at? Where's my book? Matter of fact, I don't even got my book. I don't have my book.
She explained
I'm gonna hold my little red joint up.
we
Look,
come
I'm not going.
we come in full circle. We come in full circle. You know, this girl in particular that she was talking about, you know what I mean? I knew again had a twat because it was bad twat since we was children, you know. Honey, she didn't even make it out elementary school real good. You know what I mean? Before it was just like, no, this ain't for her. You know what I mean? And she was always
Would you
known
be? You fall asleep?
no, she was always known to be a coochie girl. I'ma just say that.
Oh,
She was
you saying this stuff about this woman that I don't know? I'm falling asleep.
and
I'm
rest
not.
in peace to her. I'm not gonna say her name though. I ain't gonna
Okay.
disrespect her. But yeah, they came from a crackhead house. She came from a crackhead household and stuff. So she was abused as a child and all that kind of stuff. And that brings us to Nicki Minaj. I'm assuming that's who you was talking about, right? You was talking about
How
why
did you
you
just jump? How did you jump from this person coming from crackhead home to Nikki? Oh my god!
first of all
Wait, I wasn't ready for that. I swear to goodness.
how the fuck wasn't you ready? I'm sure it's a million people in the audience right now. I'm sure it's our members right now on the channel listening to this saying,
Hold on. Because I still
I
had
knew she
something
was
to
serving.
say before you jumped into Nikki, I was going to chime in and say that from aside from us being, hosts of Politically Incorrect, sometimes when I'm going through your comments or your messages as your manager, I see people saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know that you were trans," and I think that it's like I love to see that. Not that trans has a look, but for people to follow you, to always watch your stuff, to comment all this, and not know that you are trans when you say it a lot. How you not? And it's also you got the flag in your profile. Oh, like how you? Well, whatever. Anyway, go ahead. So yes, I was talking about Nikki. That's yeah,
And y'all and
yeah.
everybody who saw the videos when I was still moving in, well earlier in my moving I should say, because I'm still moving in, honey. You know it's gonna be it's a project for me, honey. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Bitch, very
Um,
Mickey D.
no, we ain't. No,
No, we ain't what?
add they jingle up in hell. No, they ain't getting none of this. No, 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 no,
Honey,
no.
they are not getting a coin from us. The way McDonald's can kiss my ass, bitch. If McDonald's try me, honey, then I'm just going to reverse lawsuit. Bitch, I done lost the whole gallbladder behind you, McDonald's. Bitch, y'all want to go to court? You want to go to court with a social media girl? You want to go to court with a podcaster, bitch? You want to go to court with a mouthpiece, bitch? You done lost your goddamn mind, McDonald's. Y'all know that y'all feeding the people poison and shit, honey. They told y'all and warned y'all about that shit in Good Burger, motherfucker, honey. Home of the Good Burger, can I take your order, honey? Keenan and Cal was warning y'all that them motherfuckers was feeding y'all pink poison, bitch. That shit ain't even meat, girl. Honey, vegetarian. Y'all be wondering why vegetarians always eating Taco Bell. Bitch, cause they not serving meat, girl. You paying extra for the shit with meat. You wonder why the chicken costs $2 and $3 extra. Bitch, because the shit that ain't chicken, girl, ain't the fuck meat. Bitch, and the chicken meat is questionable. Cause honey, y'all know that they is growing them chickens in factories and shit. The chickens
Oh,
ain't it.
I,
The chickens
why? Why are we here? Wait, but since we here really quick, I did read somewhere a few years ago that in America, only McDonald's in America are the only ones that still use some sort of meat oil to cook their French fries in, which is why vegans cannot have French fries from McDonald's. In the UK, they don't do that. They use what was it, peanut oil. Why the hell y'all can't or something like that? Why y'all can't do that here? Why you can't use canola oil or something? Anyway, so yeah.
I definitely recommend never eating McDonald's in the United States ever. Honey, I wouldn't recommend eating McDonald's in America, period. North America or South America, maybe in Canada. I would try her in Canada. I would try McDonald's in Canada. I never tried McDonald's in Canada before, but I would try her in Canada. See, I'm good at clocking that cardboard meat that they
I can't.
motherfuckers say. You know that shit is cardboard. Everybody be like, it's so flavorless, honey. It tastes like tap water. And I be thinking to myself, bitch, that's because you eating ground up
This is how people gotta know. This shit is so unscripted, and we just be saying shit that we be thinking.
baby.
Because
Y'all can research it yourselves. Y'all know I'm a tin head. If you've been here long enough, then you know I'm a tin head conspiracy theory kind of bitch. But only when they make the fuck sense, girl. Cause some of that shit y'all be thinking, bitch, is embarrassing. Summer Walker, honey. I ain't even going to see. We need to keep all the viewers we can keep. I'ma shut up and just talk about the conspiracy theories that I know about, honey. Research meat and Taco Bell and Burger King and McDonald's in the US, honey. Just research meat, honey. You see, the price of beef right now is higher than the price of pussy. And you really think McDonald's is serving you double cheeseburgers, bitch, for $1.50, honey, when you got to sell your ass about 4 or 5 times to get a gallon of gas, bitch? I know you fucking lying, bitch. The way capitalism is set up.
continue, please. Oh God.
But hold on, you know I never stay on topic, honey.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I got new medicine now, Armani. I got new
You
medicine.
got
We see how we keep circling right back to Nicki Minaj pills. Pills,
this
pills.
also proves to people that because they real like you always say, people don't believe you're really crazy and on medication
No,
while
I
being
think
like I
no,
was.
I think people really believe it now. I think they didn't believe it before I became a public personality.
Mm-hmm.
But once they started seeing me outside of their meetings, their time, it was like, oh shit, yeah, she's a nutball. Yeah,
All right.
the bitch is crazy, honey. So yeah, I definitely think the people who know me and hear my voice and listen to me know that I'm an entire fool.
You know I know. Anyway,
But anyway, yeah, let's get back to Nicki Minaj, honey,
what
because
she done did?
you
She
got
done
me
did.
off you got me off my rocker, honey. Over here, I started thinking about, honey. I started spiraling to a place, honey.
Like Nikki, okay. Oh, like Tish. Never mind. Go ahead. Talk about Nick. Go.
Pills and potions, we're overdosing. Yeah, I'm hangry, but I still love you. Look, that was already better than anything you'd heard Tish sing ever, honey. But
Like I told Cash, I never heard of Tish before this incident. Never heard her music. I have no idea who. I don't know this person. You know, I don't.
honey, Tish is a great value reject, only sold at Dollar Tree, Dollar General version of Tracy Chapman. Honey.
know who Tracy Chapman is.
Honey, I hope so, honey. You got a fast car? Honey, yeah, baby, but you don't know not a goddamn thing that Tish Hyman is saying other than big dicks. Men with big dicks in the bathroom. That's the only vocal you know her for, honey. Them big dicks in that bathroom.
Please.
What
We
happened?
talking about Nikki. My God.
You the one who be getting off topic, Armani.
Cause you be saying shit and stuff come up. You listen. You know I got undiagnosed. What's called ADD, ADHD brain. You know. You know.
Pills and
So shit pop up.
potions. We're overdosing.
This is what we go through when we filming, y'all. Just so y'all know, it be Bre. She blame everything on me, but it really be her.
I'm angry, but I
So
still
anyway,
love you. But
Nikki,
no,
what did Nikki do?
you was the one who brought up this bad body bitch. No, she didn't got that body together since the MTV Awards. But you know what
See,
happened?
then you bringing shit. You making me think of shit. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll say it later.
What
Go ahead.
you
Because
thinking
if I
about
go
how
on,
when
we'll never finish.
You think about how when that ass was falling at the MTV, what was it, the MTV VMAs, and
I'm
she was performing Anaconda, honey, and that silicone was traveling, honey, bitch. You thought that silicone was going west. You thought that silicone was hitting the Wild West, honey.
oh my, I'm not doing that. I'm
Baby,
not.
you thought that
So
silicone.
thinking about how Nicki has been one of my faves. Anybody that knows me knows I don't really listen to rap music like that. However, I do listen to her. I also do listen to Cardi. But Nicki has always been one of my faves, probably because she's done like pop. She's a little bit of singing. She's rapping. So she's always been one of my faves. Now I was not a bard. Now don't get it twisted. I was not a bard, but she was one of my faves. However, I've just kind of watched her be like a go through like a downward spiral. Like when you first came out, you was very queer friendly. You was even claiming that you were a part of the queer community. You was very supportive of a lot of different
Gay
marginalized
baiting.
communities, or whatever, right?
Gay baiting
And
with
then
bad pussy. She was gay baiting with bad pussy.
all of a sudden you get with this I can't even say the word properly. You know the record that your husband has. You got with him, and all of a sudden you was no longer a part of the queer community. Then you start kind of saying little side bashy things about the queer community and denying that you ever once was a part of the community or that you ever said it, even though it's in your music. Um, then you had this kid. You refused to keep your child away from the parent and all these other things, and now you saying shit that supports transphobia, that supports Donald fucking Trump of what? What, Nikki?
Pull up in that monster.
Girl,
Pull up in that monster or gangster with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, man, I talk call her Willy Wonka. Honey. Yes, honey. Nikki said, bitch, honey,
but
fuck you
I
trannies. You men stay out of women's sports. Stay out of women's locker room. Honey,
like,
you
and,
brown and
I can't even say certain names because I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you feel better saying that. I don't want to bring anybody into it, but it's like you have some really big trans women, like celebrity trans women, that have been publicly supportive of you. And for you to support is kind of a slap in the face, like, how, bitch, yeah, I didn't really think you was a woman anyway. To me, that's how I see it. Like, you literally have these influential trans women and just a lot of people in general, but specifically talking about, trans women, some that Bre has been on their shows and everything, and they have been publicly supportive of you. And then you say this, and it's like a slap in the face. Like, bitch, people been supportive, you've been backing, you've been like coming to your defense and everything, and you support that trans women don't belong in sports. Like, what's your issue, dog?
honey, I know what you hinting around about, and honey, when I have personal relationships with people, they're not for public consumption, honey, unless I've already, at least without me speaking to the person first, and I haven't had an opportunity to speak about this particular issue. Yeah, haven't had an opportunity to talk about it. We'll talk about it and get their take on it, and hopefully get them to speak publicly on it. I
Yeah.
think,
Well, you see,
like,
I'm respectful, because obviously it's someone that I appreciate, that I admire, and support, and so I don't want to do anything that puts them in negative light, or you, or harm y'all relationship. So that's why I didn't, I'm
no,
not
honey,
being.
you can say what you want, honey. You have to take that up with her. She a talking voice too. You know what I mean? She a talking head as well. So I'm sure she understand how it go. But for me, I've just had opportunities to bring it up and didn't completely got lost in other conversations. You know what I mean? And never circled back to the topic. Never remembered to bring it up again. But no, she's actually asked me about it, and we
Oh,
can. and we ended up talking about something else. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I want people to also like real quickly before you say what you're going to say about it. I want people to also stop saying, "Oh, Cardi could never," because even Cardi had her moments where she had to be called in and out, just like K Michelle. A lot of these people that we love that make great music, a lot black cis women specifically, love y'all dearly, but it's like a lot of them have internal homophobia, transphobia, whatever that we have to call them in about and try to talk to them like, hey, like where you know what I'm saying, like where's this coming from? What you said was problematic, blah blah blah, whatever. So people that saying, oh, Cardi would never, yeah, all y'all barbs and because Cardi didn't have her moments too. So don't even we not even going there. Don't even do that.
oh yeah, I'm
And
sure. I'm sure. Cart. I'm sure they all a sling, a tranny, and a faggot. You know what I'm serious. I'm sure they all a sling, a tranny, and a faggot behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
oh my god.
Yeah, honey. You know I grew up around celebrities, so that celebrity shit never. It doesn't. Like I've never been one of them people to disassociate them as being real people, but I do use
Uh-huh.
them as examples and talking points because they're popular people. They are the most popular people, the most famous people. So they're examples of somebody who we all know. So a lot of times when I talk about particular subjects or when I talk about particular celebrities, it's to make a point of not just about them, but about people who are like them or move like them, kinds of
So
vibes.
what you got to say to Nikki, like to her about this?
Child, at this point, I'm tired of repeating myself, Nikki, but I'll break it down again for your lopsided ass. Um, Pills and potions, stop overdosing because you get angry and people is stopping loving you. I'm noticing the wave changing as a social scientist, Nikki. I'm noticing that, honey, your barbs is turning on you, bitch. They said that they belong to Mattel, honey. They say they owned by Mattel, bitch, and Mattel I think is dropping you, girl. It looks like everybody done dropped you from what they say, Nikki. They say that you have to use AI in all of your art these days because don't nobody want to work with you no more. That's just what the people on the streets and on the internet and in the industry be saying. Because, we know that some beats and shit that you done had on this last album, they came from YouTube and stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. I got choked up, Nikki. Yeah, just like a lot of your barbs is right now. Honey, they tongue tied and choked up from defending you, honey. They had all the smoke for so long that now they got holes in their esophagus, Nikki, bitch, honey, and they can't talk about it no more. Oh, Nika, honey. They said, yeah, ABC 1 2 3, is what they said. Is what they told me to tell you. Um, if you know, you know.
Her Instagram.
If you know, you know. ABC 1 2 3. If you know, honey. Barney told me to tell you that you then got baby bopped out of the industry, and your legacy has went down in flames. Like your demise, Onika Tanya Mirage. Your demise,
Oh, government.
your fall from grace will be studied for decades to come. I mean, shit, depending on how things play out, bitch, girl, who knows? You could be the new Cicero, bitch, honey. You know what I mean? You might go down in history as a classic fail, like a Greek novel or something, bitch. You might go down as the new Juliet, bitch. Honey, they both died in the end, girl. Um,
Oh,
I don't know what else to say to you other than I can't even tell you beautiful gowns, bitch. Because we know that you didn't always dress the fool and look the fool, honey. Ever since that first Breakfast Club appearance that you made in that green wig, bitch, that shit was atrocious. I don't know what kinds of Lady Gaga imitation you was trying to pull, but girl, it was given. Yes, I grew up in the house with a crackhead daddy back then. You know what I mean? Um, oh, and then, bitch, you had on a white and blue striped polo, bitch, and the stripes wasn't even fashion, girl. But anyway, yeah, can't tell you beautiful gowns. I hope that you find peace and prosperity with. Oh, I can't even say this with a straight face. Let me get myself together. Kiki said, "Hey, Nicki, I
Hey, Puss.
I am wishing you peace and prosperity in your life. I'm hoping that you find peace with your pedophilic husband and your soon child." I think that's all I got on mine. What you think?
What you got? That was a lot. That's all you got?
Yeah. What you think? What are your thoughts? Oh, you already gave us your thoughts. Next topic. You want to talk about Tish Hyman, hard broad shoulder, having ass, or do you want to do another topic? Because honey, she didn't.
Who we talking about now?
I was asking, who do you want to talk about?
Well, I didn't get to say my piece publicly about the Tish and Alexis situation, so we can brief on that.
Okay.
Um, because we know you didn't share your videos, okay, your videos, and and thank you for doing your research that you always do and keeping us informed. Because I had not known that since her first like three videos that it seemed like every day after she was just on a rant, on a rant, on a rant, on a rant, just once again somebody else is digging herself deeper into this hole that essentially she created for herself. Um, as someone that has had to experience womanhood as a younger person and that has been caused trauma in probably the way that Tish has, that it seems like it's going undiagnosed. I understand that she has trauma, that she's speaking from a place of hurt and from a place of trauma. I completely understand that. I don't understand it 100% because I'm not in her shoes. However, we can all see and we can all hear essentially that there's some trauma there, right? That someone, a male, probably identified person, um, harmed her at some point in her life and she didn't get over it. She hasn't worked through it or gotten over it or whatever it is. And so being in the locker room with Alexis, regardless of what happened, and apparently seeing Alexis's external genitalia, although she identifies as a trans woman from what we know, Tish saw that apparently and it triggered her. And instead of just, well, first of all, we can't control how people express their pain and their hurt and their trauma and things like that. I understand that. And so if she had just did that first video and expressed to us, hey, like, this is what happened, this is how it made me feel, how can we change this, how can what can be done differently, blah blah blah, cool. Most people probably would have continued to stay on her side and really pay attention to what happened and want to know the full story and figure out, okay, how do we fix this? How do we move forward from this, right? But instead, you're making it worse, Tish, by continuously going on rants every single day. And it's like multiple rants per day. Also, in addition to you going on these rants and being so, transphobic and so just toxic, you're also breaking the law because they just passed a law here, sidebar, but also to this, they just passed a law here that you can get a fine if you are driving without your phone being in a holder or some form of bracket or whatever. And so we can clearly see in Tish's videos, she's holding the phone in one hand while driving and ranting, not paying attention to the damn road.
Oh,
So,
Armani, I want to touch on this because you brought up a great point.
okay, go ahead.
I'm sure a lot of people question, well, shit, we know for a fact that a lot of people, even in our LGBTQ community, question some of the shit that I post, right? Some of it being trauma inducing specifically. And I post, one of the things that people questioned me posting was Tish's rant or my edit of Tish's rant because she went off for 20 minutes and I made it a, what, less than 5 minute video? But anyway, um, one of the reasons that I did it was because I saw her ass on that phone. And I didn't know and I didn't know at the time whether or not it was legal, illegal in Cali, but I thought better safe than sorry. So let me go ahead and take this video before she take it down and repost it if necessary as proof that this bitch is out here riding dirty, honey, and while having a dirty mouth about the trannies.
So, so you wanted to be messy and fuel to the fire to prove a point. Although, I mean,
I
thank
mean,
you.
shit, honey. I feel like that's win-win for us. She don't have to worry about. She get locked up. She don't have to worry about being in the bathroom with nobody with a penis. You know, she got pussy galore. You know, from foot to floor. You know what I mean, honey? Pussy everywhere she go, honey. You got cell block pussy. You got solitary confined pussy. You got CO pussy. Honey, you know the trans men be working in the correctionals. So you be having trans man patois.
I'm not doing this.
What? What we not doing? We discussing Tish Hyman, honey. Tish
Oh
Hyman.
God.
Tish Hyman said that she is a gold star. Ain't nobody ever broke that Hyman. Is what Tish Hyman said.
I don't like when people bring trans men and genitals together. But anyway, I'm also glad that you said that because because it was something that I wanted to specifically talk about too. There's three things, but for that, I don't. Again, none of us were in that locker room with her, with Tish and Alexis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but apparently, from what Tish said, she was triggered because she saw Alexis's genitalia, right? Which is a external genitalia of penis.
That was a lie. I don't even want to entertain a lie on here.
No, listen. So what I want to say to that is, so they're trying to force trans and non-binary people and intersex people as well, like into the spaces of like locker rooms, restrooms, and all that align with what you were assigned at birth, right? Specifically, more focusing on genitalia is what they're doing, right? How would Tish feel if there was a trans man now forced to use the same locker room as her that did not have bottom surgery? So you see him first, and maybe, let's say he has a beard, and you like, oh my God, it's a man. And then you see he doesn't have bottom surgery because she says she saw Alexis's genitalia, and you see that, you still would feel some type of way. I'm almost certain she would still feel some type of way. I'm almost certain she would still feel some type of way because she even also in one of those rant videos said that there was a trans woman supposedly that came up to her that had bottom surgery. Again, supposedly. This is what she said. And the woman asked her, she apparently the woman told her that she understands how she feels, and she was, and Tish was like, thank you, and being kind to her, telling her how beautiful she was and all this before, the misgendering of other trans women. We didn't talk about that part. But later goes to say like, would you mind stepping out because I still don't feel comfortable? What the fuck? Like, Tish, like, what the fuck?
Honey, baby, honey, just like that lady. You talk about a trans man, but I don't know if you saw recently, there was a trans masculine person with titties
Yes, and a beard.
and in a dress, and a white woman lost her motherfucking
Mm.
hairline,
And
bitch.
this, the person said that her hairline. The person said that they were a trans. They
I
said
can't
trans
think of
man.
nothing that I can't think of no advantage that white women have physically. I was going to say, her face started sagging even more, honey. It went from being a sack of potatoes to being a sack of biscuits. I don't be laughing at the shit that I say. I'll be laughing at your fucking face when I say it. You are key. But no, she had a connection because the tranny boy, tranny person was coming out of the stall. You know what I mean, honey? And this person was like, "No, I got coochie." You know what I mean? Like, and I got on a whole dress.
A whole pink ass outfit, pink boots, pink dress.
And
I've
my
seen.
tit and my titties bigger than yours. Like, no shade, bitch. Even in my facial hair, I'm more cunt than you. No shade. They was still more cunt than that white woman. It's no shade, honey. I would have fucked them before I fucked that saggy ass white woman, bitch, honey. And she was bleach blonde, honey. We didn't get to see, but I put money on it that it was a bad built butch body along with it, honey. I'm telling you. She gave me an anorexic Marjorie Taylor. Marjorie Taylor, she already sagging in a motherfucker. She looked like a Armani, stop. You gonna get fined when you can't keep a straight face and we record on.
Take you serious. I mean, you be dead serious, but it's so like unintentionally fucking comical. Like, anyway, yes, I saw that, and it's so fucked up because it's like you can't win. You
Mm-mm.
can't win. Y'all wanna say no. You were born this, and this is the restroom you need to use, and this, and then when they do, you still got the fucking problem. Like, dog, y'all gotta make up y'all delusional ass minds as to what y'all as cisgender, usually heterosexual people. We just gonna stick with cisgender as opposed to transgender and non-binary and like intersex people. Y'all gotta make up y'all delusional ass minds as to what agendas y'all trying to push and what y'all really want from us. Like, seriously. Because you can't say, oh, God don't make no mistakes, and you was born this, and you have this between your legs, and you need to this, and then when people do it, you still want to record and call them out, and make up your fucking mind. Y'all say we fucked up, y'all fucked up. Y'all are the ones that's fucked up. Like, we do our best to avoid attention, and I'm speaking for all of us in this moment, but everybody is not like that. But just speaking as a whole for the moment, we do our best to avoid attention, to not do anything to make y'all call us out or say transphobic shit and all this other shit or whatever. And then y'all create these dumbass policies and all this shit. Y'all try to push these weird ass agendas. Oh, you need to use this restroom, or you need to. And when we do, you still fucking following people. You recording them. You calling them out for the very same shit that you told us to do. Make up your blood clot mind.
Honey, when you're trans, you're never alone. There's always a transphobe somewhere minding your motherfucking business, bitch. Honey, oh Lord, it's crazy. Most of y'all don't even have a trans friend. Most of y'all don't even have a personal relationship with a trans person. But y'all are so obsessed with the tranny of it all to the point that y'all be following us and everything just to hate watch and just to hate comment. Like, ciao. But anyway,
You know what?
if any
Wait.
haters are here listening, I thank you for supporting us, honey. You won't get blocked here, bitch. Keep paying your
Yeah,
coin.
thank you.
Keep paying your coin, honey, until you realize that you're a real fan.
I want to really say to a lot of people that are Transphobes, transphobic, whatever. Even go as far as to say homophobe, but because we trans, we gonna start with being people that are transphobic. Stop trying to bring kids into everything. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all do that shit every time you try to bring it into the Tish situation. This was an adult gym with fucking adults. Where did you see a child at? Where did you see a child at? Stop trying to bring these fucking kids into it, because when you really think about it, and I've said this before, when you really think about it, a lot of the pedophiles, not everybody, but a lot of the pedophiles that you see in these families that are at every cookout, every Thanksgiving gathering, every birthday, for all of this, that is still well loved by the family. And no, most of y'all know that they are these things, right? They're still heavily welcome. But when your child comes out as queer, as trans, or whatever it is, oh, that ain't my child. You disown them and you treat them different. You kick them the fuck out, whatever. But you don't kick out the person that has caused your child or other children or other people in the family harm because they were touching them or they were doing something in the fucking appropriate. But you want to lump pedophiles and trans people and queer people all in. Stop doing that. And most of those pedophiles are usually cisgender heterosexual, aka straight men. Stop bringing children into it, because a lot of these men are the ones that's sexualizing kids, and then y'all be hypersexualizing so much shit. When you watch TV back in the day, or even now, most of these families have a mom and a dad, and what you see the mom and the dad doing sometimes, showing affection, kissing. Those don't be queer families. Stop doing this and stop making it seem like it's always us. It don't really be us. I'm not saying that it hasn't been some cases where it has, but majority of the time, it ain't us. Stop y'all shit.
Honey,
Stop it.
check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like to me, to me, you took me back to the 90s, honey. I was thinking, I started thinking about the first time that two men kissed on TV. It was a Will and Grace episode. I want to look back at the year. First gay kiss on. They said in Star Wars, and I don't even watch Star Wars, honey. They be trying to push Star Wars. They said that the
To watch that movie. I know. Anybody that's a Star Wars fan kiss my ass. I watch it when I got 3 hours to sit and watch it. Okay, my damn.
I have never watched Star Wars. I think for the same reason why a lot of people haven't. It's intimidating. Bitch, if you didn't start watching Star Wars in the 80s, honey, you behind. You hella behind. There's so many franchises that can be the only shit that you watch in your free time. If you if you can't find nothing to fucking watch, honey, or you trying to find a new movie, or you can't find nothing to play at night, bitch. Siri, turn off, girl. Ain't nobody talking. Siri, why is you listening to the podcast, girl?
Oh my god.
And then she gonna try to disappear. A stinking whore.
I just never watched it because I just the two times I want to say 2 or 3 times I tried to watch, I fell asleep. Like I have to be wide awake and be like, you know what, I'm about to watch this and actually sit through it. It wasn't that it was intimidating for me personally because it's so long or because it's so many different franchises. It was just I just never fully was awake or found like not found the time, like created the time to be all right. The next 3 hours, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna rock it out. Like it wasn't also a favorite like genre of mine either to do that. Now, if you tell me it's something horror, something like drama or something like, then I might put them 3 hours aside and be like, yo, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know. Eventually I will, because I have wanted to see it, and then like I've seen like the characters at some amusement parks and all, and I'm like, oh, look at such and such from Star Wars, but it just I don't know.
I got Star Wars Lego sets and everything, and I love them. I got Star Wars memorabilia, and I couldn't even tell you the motherfucking characters' names or nothing. I just like the way they look. Honey, like I think his name is Yoda. No, is it Yoda? Not the one that looked like the blob, but the green one. Like I had so many versions of that thing, and I don't even know what it. Uh huh. I know it's close to Buddha. You know.
This Yoda, yeah.
But
All
no.
this stuff.
But the first, I was right. The first kiss, the first two man kiss that aired on U.S. TV was, or the first time two gay men kissed on U.S. TV was on Will and Grace in 1998,
Mm,
which was a long ass time ago, 30 years ago. Um,
yes. Oh,
but the
make me
first,
feel.
but the first passionate kiss was in 2000 on Dawson's Creek. That's why I was singing. "Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo." Yeah, you remember
You know,
Percy was
like I'm so
gay? You don't remember Percy? Oh, I don't remember neither. Let me stop acting like I'm old enough to remember Dawson's Creek.
I never fully watched. I know like the theme. I can tell you what the opening scenes was like them in the bowl or whatever. You know, but I never watched like full episodes of Dawson's Creek. I don't know why. I just again something else. It just wasn't really. I don't know. I just didn't watch it. But I could. If somebody asked me to sing the theme song, I could sing it. Probably most of it, or the little what you were just doing the tune. And I could tell you probably some of the people that were in the show, but I don't know. Just I never.
the
I don't
main
know.
thing, the main thing that I can tell you about Dawson's Creek is, she had two boys. Honey, Dawson's Creek put me on some motherfucking Paula Cole. Honey, Paula Cole is more talented than everything about Dawson's Creek. Honey, a bunch of crackers. It reminded me of where I'm from on the Eastern Shore, honey. You know, because they was Eastern Shore crackers, but just not Maryland Eastern Shore. I don't think. I forget where they were supposed to take place at, but some East Coast little small town off the water, honey, and they had rich crackers and poor crackers and middle class crackers, honey. Yeah, they had Ritz, saltines, club crackers, yeah, and yeah, and I remember Percy was gay, and that kept me hooked for a while. But then when Percy started questioning his sexuality, and then once I realized that the actor who was playing Percy wasn't gay, I really lost interest. So I was like, yeah, so I didn't last long on Dawson's Creek. But I was a little teeny child, honey. I was a baby, honey, when Dawson's
I'm
Creek came.
a damn baby. Oh my god, Will and Grace was my shit though.
But no,
Like
I had to correct myself. I had to correct myself, but have to make sure I do this before we end the episode.
okay.
Actually, the first gay kiss on U.S. television was in on the Real World. It was Pedro and Sean, um, and that was on the Real World in 1994, which was a long, long ass time ago, back in the 1900s.
Which real world was that? Because they do different cities. Because I
I
knew
think
about Anissa from Philly, and then when they brought it back to Philly, had auditioned for Real World a long time. Anyway,
you that old set had been able to audition for Real World.
yeah,
Oh
they
my
had
god.
like castings. Yeah, Real World. Go ahead. I will go. We'll circle back. Go ahead. What you had to say?
But 94, I don't know whichever season Pedro was on. I thought that was the first season. Or did the first season come out in 92?
Don't give me look. You the researcher. Don't give me like.
Honey,
So
I'm going to look it I'm going to look it up. Real World 1994 season.
wow. Yeah, because they do them in different
Oh,
cities.
that was San Francisco. That was San
Okay.
Francisco.
Okay. Okay. Then I never watched that one. I only watched. I ain't even gonna try to lie and say which ones. I just knew I watched the first one or the original one from Philly because of Anissa, and then when they did Real World, Road Rules Challenge or whatever. They put the
Oh
two
yeah,
shows together.
Pedro is the one that I was thinking about. He's the one that had the AIDS.
He had what?
He had the AIDS, not HIV, but the AIDS.
He publicly told people he had AIDS. That he
He
was.
died from AIDS on air, honey.
Oh, oh,
You
really?
know that they wasn't lasting but long as a year. They wasn't even lasting a year, honey. When before the anti retros.
I was gonna say, yeah, this was early '90s, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when the girls wasn't lasting long as at all, honey.
See, you know what? I was too young. Yeah, we babies, like you said. I was too.
Baby, they was dropping.
Anyway,
The girls was dropping so motherfucking fast, honey. That's why they thought people was getting it through kissing, honey.
mm,
Cause they was like, the way you faggots is dying off, bitch. Like y'all got must look at each other with the HIV and then have the AIDS and die. And it was like, no, faggots just fuck like that. And now they even more freaked the fuck out. Imagine if they didn't have pretty much the cure, because they pretty much got the cure for AIDS. Now motherfuckers still walking around with it. But anyway, and contracting it, honey, which is crazy to me. How the fuck you didn't, if you started having sex past 2015 and you contracted HIV, bitch, you's a fool, or you must have did it on purpose to get some stamps or something, to get some entitlements, to get some
that's
housing or something.
a whole Bree.
No,
That is a
I
whole,
know, honey. I'm the researcher. Like you
no,
said, I
no,
know.
no shade, no judgment, no, but it's literally truth to that part of to everything that you said, but especially that some people were purposely getting diagnosed with it or like becoming infected.
Hmm.
Just so that, especially in New York, because in New York, a lot of people were getting HASA, so they were getting up to like $1,900 a month for housing in New York if you were a person that was HIV positive. Like,
Yes, a
so you
lot of
don't purposely want to do this to yourself. Not that it's a death sentence the way that it was back then, but you purposely do this to yourself so that you can get housing. You don't want to work. You don't want to create like you do. Again, it's no shades, no judgment, but it's like, why you want to do that? Like, my question to them is why? Like, why?
a lot of
Anyway,
a lot of our generation is the product of people who smoke crack while they were in utero, and we have to keep that in mind. We also have to keep in mind that we're and also have to throw out there that this is a small minority of people with HIV. We're not talking about the average person with HIV caught it on purpose. No, we don't want y'all to be misinformed on that. That's not the case. We're talking about a small group of people who were so desperate, and they, in order to have some type of financial stability or to seek financial stability, they purposefully got infected or infected themselves with HIV, had themselves infected with HIV, so that they could receive certain benefits and entitlements and welfare for people with HIV and AIDS. It's a real thing. Um, I think honestly, we have to keep in mind that a lot of the people who we know who did it for survival reasons.
mm-hmm.
Because a lot of queer people, even to this day, are put out, especially black and brown. Queer people are disowned and exiled from family when they come out or when they're outed. Um, so a lot of people did this out of desperation. A lot of the largest number of homeless youth are queer. So we have to keep all these things in mind. Also have to keep in mind that when you're a queer child and or when you're a child of any kind and you're desperate and you don't have the proper support, baby, you just like a raw steak in the forest. It's just like throwing a raw steak in the lion's den, honey. The predators are going to spot vulnerable children. There are trains. They have trained their eye to spot vulnerable children. And when your child is vulnerable, they will get them. So a lot of people said, fuck it. You know, in other cases, they already knew that they were vulnerable and in danger and at risk of contracting HIV. So they was like, might as well put some purpose behind it, you know.
Actually know a few people, like personally, people that literally was like, listen, fuck it, I can't get a job. My parents put me out, or me and my partner broke up, and I don't have nowhere to go, or whatever the case was, and they purposely became HIV positive in whatever way they chose to, or again, it was purposely done. Excuse me, and they got housing eventually, and food stamps and Medicaid, all of and like you said, some people do it for survival. It's very very fucking unfortunate, but I've seen it done. And again, my question is without judgment. It's still like, why? I've been somebody that has been at the lowest of the low. Like I was homeless in Canada. I publicly talked about that. I wasn't. It wasn't ever that I couldn't go home. Like my parents always like, oh, you can come back. I had refused to go home. Like I wanted to figure life out on my own. And so being someone that was like a recipient of like EBT and Medicaid and all these things, and going from different friends' sofas and sharing beds with them and all these things, like I've seen it, but it didn't ever cross my mind. This is just me talking about me. It didn't ever cross my mind to be like, well, damn, what if I just do this purposely and become HIV positive so that I can have some sort of stability of all the resources that I need to survive, to be stable. It just it didn't cross my mind. And so again, that's why my question is like why? It's just why? How? Why? To each their own, for sure. But I know that I've went from, as people, the expression pillow to post. I've done that. I slept on somebody's futon for 4 years in New York. A futon in their living room, no privacy for 4 years. I shared a bed with someone for 2 years, and we were not like intimate or anything. We both didn't have much, and it was their apartment. We shared a bed, until I got on my own. But it didn't cross my mind to do that. I don't know.
Honey, I don't know neither. You know, I've been homeless before as well, and no shade. I never, but I again, I've also never been somebody who's been suicidal. Because I can imagine if you willing to motherfucker kill yourself, why wouldn't you be willing to give yourself a terminal illness? You know, and even with um, the medications that we have out here now, there are people still dying every day from complications with HIV, even with the medications that we have now. So they're not foolproof. I don't know why people think that it is a cure. We there is a cure, but it's just not as accessible to everybody now. Who knows when it'll be accessible? Who knows how long they've had it? You know, I wouldn't put my health at risk of any of that. I've never been in a desperate place to do that, but I've also been somebody who, even in my homelessness, I've never been as desperate, or I've never been in a place that other homeless people have been in. You know what I mean? I've never been somebody who's been strung out on drugs, for example. But yeah, and again, I've never been suicidal, so I don't know what people could be thinking. But
That's interesting. I mean,
yeah,
I'm happy that you have it, because I am someone that has been there many a times, in that place of being suicidal. But it's really interesting to hear that, and I hope that a lot of people watch this and hear you say that, because you know um a lot of people associate like mental health issues and being suicidal and all that with queer people. So to actually hear a queer person, especially a trans person, say that they have not been suicidal, that is, it's actually shocking to me. Not that I fed into what a lot of people said that when they associate the two, but that's actually shocking. I didn't even know that about you, and we've been friends, and I didn't even know that about you. But I'm happy to know that.
I need
I'm
to
very
say
happy
it.
to know.
I need to say it more often then, because, honey, it's a point of me to say it publicly in case anything suspicious ever happened. You know that it was the CIA, bitch. I did not kill myself, honey. You know that them girls got me up out of here, honey.
Who was it?
Honey, it might have been the butler, far as I know. Honey, check the crazy motherfucker who I'm with at the time, because at any given time I'm gonna be with somebody crazy. But no, I've never been suicidal. I've gotten close to it. One time I had a migraine headache. I was like, I'll blow my brains out if I have to experience this shit for the rest of my life, honey. A migraine headache? You ain't never had one of them, honey.
Yeah.
Honey, my grandmother had to hide my pistol. Had to take my pistol out of my purse. Um,
Arm the dolls.
honey, baby, be careful with the crazy ones. But shit, they all crazy, like you just said. Point that you just made. Um,
Say that.
Honey, you said you surprised that I ain't suicidal, especially being a tranny puss. Baby, if you can't read between the lines, then you listening to the wrong podcast, honey. No, you listening to the right one because you still gonna get a kiki, honey. It's like watching The Simpsons or Family Guy, or South Park. You don't even have to understand the joke to get that it's a kiki. You know.
Oh my god.
But it's time
I
for
should
us to
not
go,
get.
Armani. I feel like these hours go by so quick with us talking to each other and to our people.
Of course, because it's literally, two friends, also talent and manager, but also two queer people, two trans people, two black trans queer people that align in so many ways, that learn from each other, like, of course it's gonna go by because we having a good ass time. I'm also a big fan of yours. Everybody knows that.
Oh God.
So
Don't do don't do
I
this
don't give
Bay
a
rush thing.
damn.
Don't do this.
Everyone gonna know if I wasn't a fan, if I didn't love you as a friend, I would not have said yes to being your manager. Excuse you? No, I don't even like you. Well, I love you. I'm a big fan of yours, and I love every day that I get to talk to you, that we get to create things together. I love it, love it, love it, love it, and I would not change it for the
Oh
world.
my
So
God.
yes.
I'm so uncomfortable. So on that note, honey, say bye, Armani. You can't say nothing else other than bye. Yes, I'm
Thank
putting
y'all
it.
for watching Politically Incorrect.
And peace, love, and blessings to all of y'all until we speak to y'all again.